Welcome back to Burn and Barrel, and today we are going to be reviewing Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof Rye. As you may know, Jack Daniel's is located in Lynchburg, Tennessee, and is also the oldest registered distillery in the United States. To learn more about Jack Daniel's and its history, please check out the card that I have linked above to see the distillery tour video that I have done previously. This particular bottle is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof Rye Whiskey. This bottle is also a Heroes Edition bottle, which means that this particular barrel was picked by a military veteran. The mash bill for Jack Daniel's Rye is a 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% malted barley. This bottle also comes in at a fiery 137.3 proof, which is one of the highest proofs I have seen on a single barrel. This bottle shares a lot of similar design qualities to the last one, the regular Tennessee whiskey, except that it has more green accents to signify that it is a rye whiskey instead. And now, let's get right into the review. So I've gone ahead and poured up some of the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof Rye here. So let's go ahead and get right into the glass. So again, the color on these are incredible. These being the single barrel Jacks. This one seems to be a little bit darker than the regular whiskey that I did last time. But it's still pretty dark. And again, I don't remember the age statement on these. I don't believe it says on here. No, it doesn't look like it. But the color is fantastic. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So I'm a big fan of these single barrels because not only are they relatively not super expensive, but you get a lot out of what you pay for. And no different with this one. So immediately I'm getting that Jack banana note like I did on the other one, but not nearly as strong. I'm getting a whole sorts of other different flavors. I'm getting more an orange, like a butterscotch almost. I mean, it just, maybe a little bit of mint. Yeah, definitely a little mint. But my goodness, it packs a punch just on the nose. Because before, while I poured it and I was setting up, you could just smell it. This area just smells different when I poured this up. So it's just emanating all these good notes, and it smells really good. So let's go ahead and get right into the palate. Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of similar notes on the palate that I am on the nose. I'm getting that banana note that you kind of get with Jack products, but I'm also getting not as much of the banana as you would think. So if you haven't watched my previous video, go watch it to see how I react to these differently. But at least with this one, the other one I call the banana bomb because it really was. It's sitting right over there, and every time I'm gonna see that bottle now, I'm gonna think banana because that was the entire thing that I could taste, or that was the big note I could get both on the nose and on the palate with that bottle. This one, I get enough to know that it's a Jack Daniel's product, but not so much to where that's the only note I'm getting and it's like overwhelming. You can tell it's there, but you get a lot of other notes too. So at least on the nose, I'm getting, like I said, the fruit of orange, and then you get the mint because it's rye, and then you get a little bit of that butterscotchy type sweetness. And on the palate, I'm getting the similar banana notes, but I'm also getting some other things as well. Yeah. So banana note is in the beginning a little bit, but it really punches you with an oak. But it's a sweeter oak, so it's not super bitter or nothing, but it's definitely punchy. And you get that, you get the orange and the mint a little bit. I'm almost getting a dark chocolate in there too, it seems like, which is super nice. I tend to like dark chocolate notes, or chocolate notes in general when it comes to my whiskeys, so I'm a big fan of single malts. I've discovered very recently, actually. I've only started getting into those as of the past few months. But I've discovered that that malty kind of chocolatey note is something I personally like, and I know a lot of people, or some people don't necessarily, but for me that is the kind of note that I tend to enjoy. So this having a little bit of that chocolate note in there is a nice kind of supplement to the other notes. It's not overpowering, it's not the main stage, it is just a secondary character to, like I said, the mint's on there, a little bit of banana, really just like a sweet oak and a butterscotch type sweetness. It's definitely different than like a caramel sweetness, but it is, man, there's no lack of flavor. So as far as the finish goes, it's pretty well drawn out. Let me get another taste to make sure. Yeah. So again, those notes that I was reiterating on the front palate still persist. And then as you get to the back palate here, it kind of starts to wean out into just like 2 or 3 notes instead of just like the multiple before, maybe just 2. I'm really getting the mint and like a sweet oak, and that's mostly what the finish is. And I mean, it's still going, like it's continuously in there, like it's continuously just persisting, but it is very good. The viscosity is just fantastic. It's super oily, it's super just there. I mean, it's not thin like water. You can definitely tell there is some either age or some sort of just power behind the actual whiskey, because usually when you get something that's closer to an 80, 90 proof, even like maybe a bottle and bond like 100 proof or something, you can tell it's a little lighter or maybe younger in age. But this, you can tell it's definitely more than like a 4-year product, and it's definitely more than just your typical standard proofs. In particular, as you saw in the intro, this particular bottle is the Jack Daniel's Hero Edition. So they did this, I think, like 6 or 7 months ago. I can't remember. They did it a while ago, and I picked one up. But it came with like the little dog tags on the collar here as well. But this particular one was 137.3 proof. So definitely a very high proofer, almost hazmat material. But it definitely does not drink anywhere near that. That's the dangerous part with this one, is it is smooth for what the proof is, and I would tell you this is definitely what I would consider a cask strength, maybe 115 plus, but nowhere near 137 proof, because this is probably, I think this is the hottest, yeah, this is the hottest bottle I have proof wise in my bottle collection here. So but it definitely doesn't drink the hottest like some of the other bottles that I have. So overall, this is an incredible value. I believe this one I got for $60, but they usually go about 65 to 70, depends on where you're at. But even if it was like $80, this is like worth it to me, because the flavors you get, not only the amount of flavors, like unique flavors, but the potency of them, the strength, like how they mingle together is just awesome. So yeah, this easily one of the easiest 9 out of 10s I've ever given. The only reason I would ever knock it down from like a 10 out of 10 is, one, there's gonna be hardly ever anything that's perfect. And if I really, really, really had to nitpick, it's slightly drying with the oak, like slightly, but that is like nitpicking some things. So it's gonna be hard for me to give it a 10 out of 10. It's just gonna have to absolutely just blow me away. And this does do a lot of that, but I feel like for what this bottle is, there may be better ones out there, so I'm hesitant to give like a 10 out of 10. But in my opinion, this is as strong of a 9 as you can get for me. So, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. I've sung the praises of this bottle. So if you can get this or any of the other barrel-proof products from Jack, please do so, because these bottles are incredible, and especially the rye. I tend to prefer the rye over than the regular whiskey. But if you can get this bottle for anywhere near your MSRP or a little bit more, then you are going to be over the moon. This is a fantastic bottle, and one of the best rye whiskeys you can get for the price.
I hope you've enjoyed this review of Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof Rye. I have left a summarized version of this review in the description below alongside Jack Daniel's website link. Feel free to let me know what you think of this bottle in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the videos on screen and some of the other videos I've done on this channel, such as the Jack Daniel's Distillery Tour. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time here on Burnin' Barrel.